Now, any person in Mr. Pino's circumstance that evening, had Officer Flores been there, he would provide the same sort of assistance, right?
Correct, yes.
Whether the person had been in an accident or not, right?
Correct.
In fact, if it had been one of the uninjured passengers of Mr. Pino's vessel attempting to come from the Good Samaritan vessel onto your vessel, and Officer Flores were there, he would provide the same assistance to that.
Yes, correct.
Notice what the defense is doing here. They're establishing a key point early. Officer Flores would have provided assistance to anyone injured or stranded, regardless of who they were. Why does that matter? Because the jury is being asked to separate emergency medical care from any assumptions about impairment or guilt. That's a subtle but important distinction.
You can take your seat. Mr. Bruto, what is the closest physically that you came in contact with Mr. Pino that evening, if you can recall?
Approximately 3 feet or so.
And in those 3 feet, you didn't have any, you observed no signs of impairment at all, did you?
Not that I could observe, no.
No odor of alcoholic beverage, correct?
Correct.
No bloodshot eyes, correct?
Correct.
Did you hear Mr. Pino say anything in your presence?
He was talking a little bit, but not that anything that concerned me.
His speech did not, what you did hear him say, his speech did not sound slurred to you, is that right?
Correct.
And at any time seeing Mr. Pino, once he was on your vessel, did you see Mr. Pino have a problem with balance?
This is a significant moment for the defense. The witness was within just a few feet of Mr. Pino and says he noticed no odor of alcohol, no slurred speech, and no obvious balance issues. Of course, one witness doesn't settle the entire case, but it gives jurors another piece of the puzzle. If you were on this jury, how much weight would you give to this testimony?
No, the majority of the time I had him sitting down.
And that was for Mr. Pino's safety?
Correct.
Because you knew that he had a head injury?
Possible head injury, yes.
A moment. Thank you, Mr. Bruto. No further questions.
Mr. Bruto, let me ask you, there were a number of teenage girls that were on that vessel that had the platform, right?
Correct, yes.
Did you observe signs of alcohol impairment on any of them?
No.
The attorney asked you about why you were asking another officer, hey, he's a medical, he's got a head injury, you know, get him seen. He asked you why you did that, and you said that one of the reasons why was because of the extent of injuries of some of those other girls on the vessel. I want to call your attention. I want to call your attention to two girls that were on the platform of that. I think some people refer to it as a Van Dutch type of a vessel.
Correct.
What did you observe about them that made you worried that maybe the defendant could be suffering injuries?
I know when I initially checked out Katiana, she had what appeared to be small fiberglass fragments in the back of her head, indicating the head injury. She hit the side of the fiberglass vessel she was traveling in. The other female on the other side didn't have any fiberglass in her head, but her head area had disheveled or messed up, possibly indicating in the fact that she wasn't really speaking, just kind of nodding.
The prosecution is shifting the focus here from alcohol to injuries. The testimony paints a picture of a chaotic boating accident with multiple people potentially suffering head trauma. That's important because symptoms of a head injury can sometimes overlap with signs that people associate with intoxication, making the investigation far more complicated.
Possible head injury on her as well, hitting the vessel. Majority of boat vessel accidents, there's no seat belts, so
Judge, object, this is beyond the scope of the question.
Excuse me?
I said this is exceeding the scope of the question. I'm
Stay.
talking about.
Let's do that. Go ahead.
In terms of those two young ladies that were on the platform, when talking about Katya, or Kati, was she ever conscious when you were dealing with her?
no.
Listen closely to the prosecutor's strategy. The argument isn't necessarily that Mr. Pino was perfectly healthy. It's that trained fire rescue personnel were present and apparently didn't rush him off for emergency transport. The implication? His condition may not have appeared immediately critical. Whether jurors agree with that interpretation is another question entirely.
What about the other young woman?
Other than just nodding her head when we would ask questions, that's about it. She didn't really speak at all.
Now, after you had escorted the person who was the owner of that vessel that had stopped, that Good Samaritan with the large boat and the platform, after you had helped escort him safely back through the nighttime waters, you indicated you came back to Elliott Key, is that right?
Yes, correct.
And the defendant was still there?
Yes, he was.
There were fire rescue workers there?
Yes, they were.
Were there what they call fire boats?
Correct.
And is a fire boat basically a boat that is operated by the fire rescue personnel?
Yes, correct. They're fire trucks for the water.
Okay. So had Mr. Pino needed immediate assessment or attention to get him to the mainland, fire rescue had the means to do that. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
But you see him there walking around with all these other fire rescue people. Nobody's taking him anywhere.
Correct.
Now we're getting one of the more dramatic exchanges of the testimony. The prosecutor is drawing a direct comparison between the officer's emergency response and the defendant's alleged actions. It's a rhetorical move designed to highlight judgment, responsibility, and decision-making under very different circumstances.
The attorney asked you about the manner in which you responded to the initial call, first going to Boca Chica and eventually finally finding the people that are in the Cutter Bay area. First off, when you were responding to that call, does a police boat have like lights on it like a police car would?
Yes, they do. The emergency lights as well as the siren.
Were your emergency lights activated as you were heading up to Boca Chica?
Yes, they were.
Did you have teenagers who had been drinking on your police boat with you?
No, we did not.
Did you have with you, though, two other officers that could serve as lookouts to help make sure you're safe as you're traversing?
As the jury heads to lunch, both sides have scored points. The defense emphasized testimony suggesting no obvious signs of impairment, while the prosecution highlighted the severity of the crash and the circumstances surrounding it. The big question still hanging over the courtroom: do all these individual facts fit together into one clear story, or are there still gaps that create reasonable doubt?
Up to Boca Chica.
Yes, I did.
Did you ever operate that vessel without looking where you're going for 9 seconds?
No, I did not.
Did you hit a channel marker on your way to respond to that emergency?
No, I did not.
Did you have 2 beers while you were on your shift that day?
No, I did not.
Were you responding to what you understood to be a life and death emergency?
Yes, I was.
Would you consider going to a dinner party a life or death emergency?
Objection, Judge. Relevance.
No.
No other questions.
All right, thank you.
Free to call, sir?
No, sir. The witness is excused. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our 1:30 at this time. Yes, we are. That's what we're going to do. Please put your notepad